Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. In this video, we'll show you the top 6 reasons why your gas dryer won't start. Stick around till the end of the video for an important dryer safety tip that most people don't even know about. But before we begin, we're going to make sure the appliance is unplugged or the circuit breakers are off, so there's no chance of electrocution. Also, make sure you turn off the gas valve at the wall. The first thing we're going to check is the power supply. Gas dryers need a full 120 volts to work properly. If your dryer is not starting, it could be that the circuit breakers have tripped or failed. Whether your breaker has tripped or not, we're going to reset it and then test the wall socket with a multimeter set to volts AC. All you have to do is stick a probe into each side of the socket and check the meter. It should read 120 volts. Keep in mind that the number can fluctuate up or down by 10%. If the socket doesn't have proper voltage, then either it or the circuit breaker may need to be replaced. Next, we're going to check the thermal fuse. The thermal fuse is a safety device that shuts down the dryer if the temperature inside it gets too hot. The fuses are usually rated at 180 degrees Fahrenheit and up. This particular one is rated at 91 degrees Celsius, which is 196 degrees Fahrenheit. And this one is 154 degrees Celsius, which is 309 degrees Fahrenheit. It's usually located on the blower housing, but on some models, it can be located by the heat source. To make sure the part can carry an electric current, we need to test it with a multimeter for continuity. Once you have it set, touch the probes together to make sure it's working. Now you have to remove the wires from the part so we can test it. And then touch a probe to each terminal. If the meter shows a reading, it has continuity and the part is good. If not, you'll need to replace it. Most times when the thermal fuse fails, it's caused by a restriction in the airflow. Make sure you check that your vent isn't kinked or clogged. If it is, make sure to fix it and clean out the dryer when you replace the fuse. If you need to order a part, simply go to AppliancePartsPros.com and type in your model number. Find your part on the easy-to-read diagrams and match it to the number below. Click on the part if you want to see more pictures of the item or watch its repair video. You can also scroll down to see DIY stories from customers like you, or ask a question in the Q&A section. Once you're ready, you can add the part to your cart. It's that easy. Most orders will arrive within 2 business days. Now we have to look at the door switch. It's a safety device that prevents the dryer from starting if the door isn't closed properly. The most common reason for it to fail is broken contacts inside the switch, or on some models, there's a separate actuator arm that may be broken. They're usually mounted to the front panel behind the door. In order to test it, depending upon the style you have, remove the wires or unplug the wiring harness and attach a probe to each terminal or to the pins inside. If your dryer has a light in it, your door switch will have 3 wires going to it. You may have to look at the wiring diagram to figure out which wires to test. In this case, you should not have continuity until you press the switch. If you don't get continuity when you press the switch, it'll need to be replaced. Next, we need to inspect the door latch and strike. There would hold the dryer door closed. The door latch is meant to catch the strike when the door is closed and prevent it from opening. Most times, the door latch is mounted on the door while the strike is mounted on the front panel. So inspect them both to make sure they're not missing or damaged. If they are, you'll need to replace them so that the door closes properly and engages with the door switch. As always, guys, hit those like and subscribe buttons now to help support us making more of these videos. Now we need to check the drive belt. The drive belt links the drum to the motor pulley so it turns. Most newer dryers use a broken belt switch that prevents the dryer from starting if the belt is broken or has fallen off the idler pulley. If either one of those is the case, the dryer won't start. Once you have the dryer taken apart, you can check to see if the belt is still intact. If not, you'll need to replace it. If it looks okay, it may have slipped off the idler pulley, in which case you just need to reroute it through the pulleys. The last thing we need to check is the broken belt switch. It's a safety device that tells the dryer if the belt is broken or has fallen off the idler pulley. The most common reason that the switch would prevent the dryer from starting is that the belt is actually broken. If your belt isn't broken, it could be that the switch itself has failed. First, inspect the belt to make sure it's okay. If it's broken, you'll need to replace it. If it's fine, remove the drum from the dryer so we can get access to the switch. It's usually located by the idler pulley arm. To test it, remove the wires. In this case, since we can't reach one of the terminals, we're going to take the wire off the one we can reach and the other that connects the switch to the motor off the motor. Now we're going to attach a probe to the terminal and the wire. Then we're going to lift the pulley up as if the belt was still on. It should have continuity. If not, it needs to be replaced. Now here's that safety tip we promised you earlier. Dryers cause thousands of house fires every year. Most of these are caused by a buildup of lint. Lint and dust have a tendency to build up inside the dryer and vent, and are the first things to ignite. Make sure your lint screen isn't missing or damaged, or it will let lint into the vent hose. Also make sure you clean it after every load. If you have the flexible style ducting, it's recommended that you upgrade to the rigid metal kind to prevent lint buildup and the duct from accidentally being crushed. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing new venting. Failing to clean the dryer is the #1 cause of these fires, so make sure to clean the inside of the dryer, including the lint screen and blower housings, the ducting from the back of the dryer to the wall, and from the wall all the way to the outside of the house at least once a year. Once you take care of the problem, you can plug the appliance in and turn the gas back on. Thanks for joining us for another troubleshooting video brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons now, and if you have any questions or want to share how your repair went, leave a comment down below.